Welcome to Yeukai Business Show. Today's episode is brought to you by World Outsourcing Solutions, helping business owners with virtual assistant services and business growth systems. Here's your host, Yeukai Kechidori.
Hi guys, welcome back to another very special episode, and today I'm joined by a dear friend of mine that we had a few weeks ago talking about something that was very special. In fact, I can tell you right now what we're talking about. Kendra, started a new business at the beginning of this year, and in 7 months, she turned that business into $1 million business, which is amazing, right in the middle of the pandemic. So I decided to have Kendra come back on the show to talk about something that she's passionate about, which is YouTube, and how she uses it for her business and other people to skyrocket the income and the sales of her business and other people. Kendra, once again, thank you so much for being on the show once again.
Thank you so much for having me. It was just literally a few weeks ago, and I'm just excited to be here.
Kendra, you're amazing. I know you were moving from Canada at the time we spoke, and now you're back in the US. Tell us what's been happening over the last few weeks.
Yeah, it's been busy, intense, of course. I think we spoke, and the very next day I flew out to the States, moved into my new place, got everything set up and established. As you can see, like there's things in here. It's not just an empty room. And then, my business is just really booming. It's kind of crazy, just the influx of business that we've had and the things that we're doing, and it's really exciting.
Yes. And before we jump on the call, you were telling me about the two businesses that you closed last week. And a very important project which is coming up at the end of this month. Tell us very briefly for our audience.
Yeah, for sure. So in the 2 weeks since I moved, we ended up closing 2 new clients last week, people who came to me. I do not really prospect. If I really want to work with somebody, then yes, I'll chase them down. But for the most part, people are knocking down my door. We closed 2 clients last week. I booked 3 discovery calls this week. And then we did launch this past Friday a very special project, like you said. It's called the Millionaire Project. And so basically, I'm going to be taking 5 entrepreneurs through the course of 2021 from January to December and helping them to become millionaires themselves. Literally teaching them what I did, guiding them, giving them real solutions and real help for their businesses so that they too can become millionaires.
Incredible. What I love about you is you figure out a process that works and you don't keep it to yourself. You share with others so that they get the same results you got, which is amazing. We honor you for that.
Thank you.
Incredible. Now, before we jump on into the training today, I want to ask you perhaps a mindset question. A lot of people are struggling right now. What makes you, do it, in the midst of all this craziness going on?
It's funny that you mentioned mindset. So kind of like a shameless plug here. If you go to my site and you sign up for the wait list for the Millionaire Project just to be notified, there's a freebie about the millionaire mindset. And it's like really extensive. It's like 10 pages. It asks a lot of questions and it probes you. The first question is, think about your motivation. What motivates you? Why are you doing this? So for me, yes, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of societal issues. We have a global health pandemic on top of everything else, right? Then you just have personal things in your life that happen. People dying, around you. Not necessarily related to COVID, but just death. Death is inevitable and things change and your life changes. And there's so many bad things happening every day. We're constantly being fed bad things. So my thought process is always what motivates me. And what motivates me is legacy. I want to have children and I want those children to be set up. I grew up very poor. I think I talked about this the last time we spoke.
Yeah.
I grew up very, 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 very poor. And I don't want my children to deal with that. I want to create something that lasts beyond myself. I'm not doing this just to live. I'm doing this so that there's something sustainable for somebody else as well. And so the thing about mindset is, what are you actually motivated by? Why are you doing what you're doing? And if you think about why you're doing what you're doing, and it's a really good reason, it's not just making money or being famous,
yes,
you'll find that you're able to dig deep even in the midst of everything that's going on in the world and really be successful.
Amazing. And can anyone start right now and be as successful as you are?
I was a person who was doing nothing. I was I was working a full-time job for somebody else. I worked for the San Antonio Spurs basketball team, and I was selling tickets. I was doing that before I started anything. 10 years ago, and then even before starting this business that was this successful, I was kind of just figuring out what do I want to do in my life. I had just really turned 30. And I was like, what do I really want to be doing? And so I took a couple years and I played with clothes. I did the fashion industry thing. I was a stylist and I was successful there too because I worked hard. But really, it was like, there was a day where it was like, start today. And if you start today and keep being consistent over time, you'll see the results. So I think that's the word, right? It's start today. Be serious about what you're doing. Be motivated by the right thing. And you will find success. Just keep going.
You will, indeed. The key word is success, consistency there. Now, I know you help business owners with three main things. Number one, negotiate and close major brands. You also help other organizations to train and manage their teams to streamline their processes. And also you help YouTubers, get out of the management mood and focus on their creativity. Now, I'm hoping we can cover one of these things today before we jump on. And that is, for anyone who is looking to start, or maybe scale their YouTube business, where can they start? From you, I know some of your clients have got 15K, some have got even 10 million subscribers on there. What makes it work? What do they do that others don't do?
It's one word: consistency. Right. It keeps coming up, but it's the truth. Being consistent on YouTube will give you dividends. That's the very first thing. And that's like the bare minimum. The bare minimum is being consistent. Create a posting schedule. Post when you say you will post. My channel, my personal channel is very small because I don't put a lot of energy into it at all. But obviously, I have a client that has almost 10 million subscribers. I have another client with over 1 million subscribers. I have one that's close to 1 million subscribers. So it's like, I know I got the secret sauce, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's consistency over time. It's, like I said, creating that posting schedule, being consistent. If you say you're going to post on Wednesday, you post every Wednesday. If you really want to grow your channel, post 2 or 3 videos a week on the exact same days when you say you're going to post. That's really like the bottom line of YouTube, is be consistent. Amazing. Now let's talk about what you have discovered that works when creating that post. Because, you and I probably know that you can't just post anything and expect attraction. What is the formula of creating that success that engages people? I would think the first thing is being very specific about your topic and staying on topic.
Right. So
stay on topic because a lot of times people start, a channel for whatever reason. They'll start a channel that's about, travel vlogging or whatever. So they're travel vlogging. Then they have a baby and the channel changes and now they're posting just about baby stuff. Well, I followed your channel because you're a travel vlogger. Now you're posting about babies. I don't care about babies. So why am I going to keep, engaging with you? So that's the first thing. The first thing is like stay on task, stay on your topic. The next thing is pay attention to what other people in your industry are doing. So YouTube is a search engine. It's just like Google. You can go into YouTube and type, how do I put on makeup? How to build a floating shelf, how to whatever, it's going to come up. So if you have an interest in a specific topic, so let's just use, we'll use the fashion industry as an example because it's a great example. So if you're a person who is interested in the fashion industry and you want to make videos about fashion, you look up how to style a white t-shirt. And look at how many people have that post and look at how many views those posts have. If those posts have a lot of views, that means that people are interested in this topic and they are looking. They are trying to figure out, how do I style this white t-shirt? That means that's a good video to do. The other thing is, while you're looking at, still on number 2, while you're looking at what other people in your industry are doing, look at their thumbnails. Look at their thumbnails versus their titles. Because you don't make your thumbnail say the same thing that the title says. That is a common mistake that I see all the time. I see people make a video, how to style a white t-shirt is the title, and then they take a photo and in their thumbnail it says, how to style a white t-shirt. That is boring. No one wants to see that. What you're looking for in creating the thumbnails, I guess now we are kind of going to number 3. Your thumbnail is so vital. Your thumbnail is the most important part of the whole video. When you're scrolling through YouTube, even you as a consumer, as you're scrolling through YouTube, the thing that catches your eye is not the title, it's the picture. So what is in that thumbnail? So some tips on the thumbnail. Make the thumbnail an action. So instead of it just being like, here I am posing pretty, like make it an action. Do something that's actionable so that people are engaged. Secondly, write text that is legible on your thumbnail. So many people, especially women, we want these cute little fonts. And it's like, oh, look at my pretty cursive font. Well, your pretty cursive font is hard to read. So make it a big font like Babus New, or even like Times New Roman, or just Arial, something that is big, something that can be really seen from a distance. Because remember, you're seeing your thumbnail really big when you're creating it. But when people are scrolling, they're seeing a very small thumbnail.
Yeah.
So, I mean, immediately, those are the 3 things. Stay on topic, check out what people are doing in your industry, and make your thumbnail pop.
Incredible. One of the questions I got from our previous broadcast was, how do you decide on the topic that you want to be talking about on YouTube or on your videos? Because you have, a lot of facets in your life, but how do you nail it down to the one that you stay on top?
It's funny, like even like my own channel, again, which my channel is nowhere near, like I just don't put as much energy into my channel at all. I put more energy into really my clients than anything else. But even for me, like when I started my channel, it started off as a fashion channel because I was in the fashion industry and that's what I was focused on. And that's what I was doing. Mm-hmm. But now it has segued into being more focused on business. And specifically like faith-based business, because that's kind of like, that's really my lane. So for me, it's like, what is the priority in my life? That's the thing I should be talking about. But then also, what are people really looking for? And to me right now, more than anything, people are looking for people who are experts on business. Yes. They are looking for someone to tell them, this is how you grow your business. This is how you market your new product. This is how you do a launch. This is how you, so people are looking for that information. So when you're trying to figure out like, what should I post on YouTube? First of all, think about what are people looking for? What are they most interested in? But then also think about what would I watch? A lot of times creators forget that like, you have to look at it from the lens of not just being a creator of media, but also a consumer of media. How does a consumer view this topic? How does a consumer view, what's going on in the world against this topic? So right now, fashion isn't the most important thing to people. It's not the most important thing on their minds. A lot of people aren't even buying clothes. We're not going anywhere. So, like, we're not even focused on that kind of stuff. And honestly, doing fashion videos and like showing hauls and that kind of thing, you kind of feel like rubbing your wealth in someone's face who may have lost their job or they may not be doing as well. So the segue is people are interested in how to build their businesses. People are interested on how to build online businesses, how to build remote businesses, how to work from home. Those are things that people are interested in. So when you're looking at niche down to things that make sense right now.
Indeed, absolutely. Thank you. Would you recommend any tools, perhaps, that people can use in identifying what people are searching for right now, so that they can make an informed decision that, okay, this is what people are searching? Are there any tools you have come across?
There are a few tools. There's a tool called vidIQ. vidIQ shows you the popularity of different hashtags, specifically on YouTube. So that's like a really fantastic tool. The other thing that I use is Social Blade, which a lot of people use to figure out like how many subscribers does somebody really have, or like how much money are they making. But I use it to understand what hashtags are they using in their posts. Right. So when I see somebody popular, like an Emma Chamberlain posting a video, and I want to see, well, what tags is she using? I can use Social Blade as a plugin on my computer and see what tags she's using. And then even being able to use some comparable tags if they fit my video. So those are two tools that I really like to use to understand what people are searching. And then again, I gave you like the trick of like literally search your idea. If you come up with an idea, how to style a white t-shirt, is that a video? Look it up and see how many views other videos have. That right there is really like the best indicator, even above like vidIQ or Social Blade, looking at how many hashtags like are on the internet with this video type. So it's like if you, for instance, vidIQ. So vidIQ, you go in and you look, and it'll say like, let's say we're looking up white tea. So you'll look up white tea on vidIQ. And it'll tell you there's 7,633 videos, or whatever, on YouTube about white tea. Should you use it? Yes or no? And so like vidIQ really tells you, should you be using these hashtags? Is this a hashtag that's going to get you found? Will people care about this? And so I think that's those two tools, and then plus, like I said, my little trick, I think are the best ways to figure out what are people looking for, how should I be trying to create content that people actually want to see.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. And we will put these as well at the bottom of this link so that, if people want to follow that, they can find it. One of the things I get so asked often, perhaps not related to this, is, I'm not one of those people on YouTube. I cannot do like they do. I don't have the energy they have. What would you say to somebody who is coming up maybe with that thought or an idea?
To be honest, everybody does not have the personality for YouTube. And that's probably not the answer you're looking for, but it's the honest answer. Everyone is not meant to do video. Yes, video is the wave. Yes, video is what people like. But if you are not engaging on video, and you're not engaging on video doesn't have to be the way. Alternatives to video could be blogging. You may be an excellent writer. You may be great at communicating, but maybe you're not great on camera. That's fine. The other alternative, which is probably more traditional than saying like just don't do YouTube, is creating videos that don't require your face or your energy. Maybe it's a video that has stock footage in it and you're doing a voiceover. Maybe it's someone else, actually physically in the video, and again, you're doing a voiceover. The other thing is sometimes we're just in our own heads. So sometimes we just think we don't have the energy for YouTube, or we just think we don't have that kind of personality. And you really don't really know how entertaining you are until other people start watching. So try. I never thought I would be a person that people would like to watch, but honestly, like even getting on Instagram and doing IGTVs, my engagement on IGTVs it's so high. And I'm really always surprised by it. And my team is like, because you're fantastic on video. And I'm like, am I?
Well, you are.
Thank you. I didn't even realize I'm entertaining, but apparently I am, So sometimes it's like, you don't even know until you try. And so the best thing you can do is like try, put out 10 videos, see how it goes. And you may not get astronomical numbers. You may not go viral, and don't chase virality. Don't chase being viral. Chase doing what it is you love to do, and try to put out those videos and see how people engage. If people start commenting, "Oh my God, I just love your personality," then you have a personality for YouTube. But again, everybody doesn't have a personality for YouTube, and that's okay. I think that also kind of like a segue here though. I think YouTube is changing. I think that what we think as YouTube personalities, that persona has changed. It's not the same. I remember when YouTube used to be like, you had to talk real loud, you had to talk like this, and we're gonna do this. And that's how everybody talks. Or like, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, like everyone used to talk like that. Now you do have, again, like the wave of like the Emma Chamberlain, where it's just like, I'm just gonna be self-deprecating. I'm gonna be who I really am on camera. I'm going to do things that may not be like kosher on camera, but this is who I am. And I think that YouTube is starting to push and accept people who are normal. People who are normal are getting a lot of attention over people who are like putting on the YouTube show.
Wow, that's an interesting way. Just now, was on Tony Robbins' event, the World Summit, and one of the key things that kept coming back was, authenticity beats anything in business. If you're authentic on camera or authentic in business, you probably have more customer than anyone who's putting on a show. And you are bringing that up. There is a thread of truth there.
Yeah, for sure. My client who has almost 10 million subs, like they were doing videos one way for like 7-8 years. And now they're doing them authentic with their personalities, their genuine, real personalities. And we talk a lot in our meetings about their voice. So I sit and I actually help them produce their videos now, because the moment that it sounds like somebody else's voice, I have to shut it down. Hold on. Who is that? Nope. That's not you. I want you to come through this camera, not everyone else in your industry. I need your voice in this. So let's go. Let's do it again. And it's so real. It's like people who have been on YouTube for a long time have kind of been trained to do it the YouTube way. And now it's hard to break out of that to be super authentic. But like you said, authenticity is going to trump everything else that is out there. And I think that's why people who find overnight success on YouTube find overnight success. You have people like I said, Emma, Joanna Cedia, overnight success. The Dolan twins were practically an overnight success. Like, these people are overnight successes because they're really just being who they are, and not trying to put on or be anybody else.
Yes, incredible. Let's switch gears for a moment and talk about the YouTubers who perhaps are already established and they're trying to get out of that management mood into creative mood. You help people like that. What sort of things do you help them with?
Yeah, I think the first thing is organization and structure.
Right.
A lot of times people who are running manic and like pulling their hair out about being a YouTuber, it's because they don't have real structure. They kind of get up, they figure it out, they make their videos, but they don't really have a system for that either. So like there's systems and organization and structure. That's the first thing. The second thing is having a competent team of people. People think when you say team, you need 1,200 people. I have 2 staff members. I'm about to be 3. I'm about to hire somebody else. Wow. We've done all of this with a very small team. So team doesn't mean I'm paying 20 people. Team also doesn't have to mean that they are on salary and you're paying the benefits. You can hire contractors. So the next thing that I really help people with is determine what work do you love to do and what don't you love to do. The things that you don't love to do, give them to me and let me find somebody else to do them, or let me do them, or let someone on my team do them. So oftentimes it's stuff like creating thumbnails. A lot of YouTubers hate creating thumbnails, or, the behind the scenes production stuff, like contacting this company to see if we can film at their location, or dealing with XYZ brand and negotiating that deal. Or a lot of times people miss out on deals because they haven't reached back out to people who reached out to them. And so it's determining who is needed on this team. What are their strengths? How do we find those people? How do we find the right people? Get the right people in the right seats at your table. And that's really like the biggest thing. So I think those are the 2 things, like organizing, setting up systems, and then hiring the right team and finding the right team. So for me, it's like I hire those people, I manage those people, I manage every single task, just to make sure we're all getting in the flow until we're able to create real autonomy. But either way, the moment I take those tasks from that YouTuber, it allows them to go be creative and just think about, okay, what am I doing? What do I want to do? How am I going to do this? What are the big projects I've been putting off? A lot of YouTubers want to go into traditional media too. So I help there. But it's like you can't even think about doing traditional media until you have a machine that's working on your behalf, on your YouTube channel.
Yeah. One of the things, Kendra, that I hear a lot is how do you go about finding the right team to join your organization, so to speak? You've been doing this for a while. How do you go about identifying who you want to work with or to support your goal?
I have a very rigorous interview process. So, I mean, I can explain that process if you'd like to hear the process. But that's really the thing. It's like knowing, you can put out a thing on Indeed, you can put a thing out on Instagram, on Facebook, on anywhere, on LinkedIn. You can put an ad out anywhere and you'll get an influx of people. Are they the right people? You don't know from one conversation.
No.
So I'll give you a little bit of my secret sauce here. The first thing I do is people that I'm interested in on paper, I send them a questionnaire with a few questions. Like I think it's like 3 questions on there. Asking them 3 questions about, what they're doing right now, what they're motivated by, those kind of questions. They answer those. Depending on how I feel about those answers, they move into the interview process. So now, like, they'll have an actual interview with me where we'll sit on video. I always do on video. I've been doing video interviews for like literally 10 years. So we'll have a video interview. That tells me a lot about a person. Once I have video interviews with all the people I've brought out of that group from the writing, I bring those people down to about 4 or 5 people, and then I give them an actual assignment to do. So like I'll give them a prompt. Like let's say they're interviewing for me specifically. I'll give them a prompt about something that's going on with one of my clients, but I won't disclose who the client is or like too much information. So it's like I remember one time I was like, oh, there's this company. MDZ therapy and their therapy practice, and they have XYZ going on. Tell me how you would solve this problem. And they answer that. So like for YouTubers, when I interview teams for YouTubers, I'll be like, okay, this YouTube channel has been the same for the last 6 years. They're looking to go into a new audience. How would you recommend that they segue into a new audience? Yes. So I read those answers. By the end of that, I should have the person. Sometimes you don't, though. Sometimes it's still like down to like 2 or 3 people. So you give them another written something to do or another project to do. And all this happens over the course of like a week and a half. So it's very quick. It's back to back. But it tells you a lot about how a person works. Because a lot of times, you interview people or you look for a team, you're getting the person's representative. You're not getting their true, authentic self. They're coming to the meeting, they're buttoned up. They're like, oh, of course I know how to blah, blah, blah. And yes, of course. I work very well under pressure. And then you give them pressure and they fold, which I've seen a million times. I've literally seen where a person's like, oh, I'm so great under pressure in the interview, like in the video interview. Yeah. And then I give them the written prompt to do at the end. And they're like, oh, I need more time. There's just so much going on in my life. I'm like, well, so you don't work well under pressure. It's like, you work well under pressure, then you should be able to do this. Yeah. So I think that those steps really help. And then also for me, like you said, because I've been doing it for so long, I'm kind of in that world. So it's like, it comes to me, like I had a meeting with somebody on Thursday and they said, hey, I need a really good video editor. Top of mind, there are 2 people I already know who I've worked with before. Let me go talk to them about budget. I mean, you kind of just start, as you grow in the business, you start to kind of just create this network of people who do these things. If somebody called me right now and said, I need an admin for YouTube. I got the perfect person for you. She's amazing. Yes. I know exactly who I'm going to call. So I think that's how that works.
Yes. Yeah. Well, let's thank you for that, truly, Kendra. Let's talk to a business owner out there right now. And incidentally, we are going to be producing this or showing this to the summit, which is coming up very shortly. And I know there will be people who are looking to use the YouTube medium to reach their targets. What would be maybe 1 or 2 things you would advise them?
So this is obviously outside all the things I've already said.
Yes.
So the 2 things I would advise them to do is, number 1, learn everything you can about YouTube. A lot of times people just jump on and they get going and then they don't really understand like why your title is so important, why your thumbnail is so important, how to write a very detailed description, how to A/B test your thumbnails. Learn everything you can about YouTube. YouTube actually has like an academy that you can like take a class on and like get certifications for. Like take all of the classes you can take, read everything you can read. Just really gain a ton of information. That's the first thing. The second thing I would say is strategize. Strategize about your content. Think about who is your audience, who is your target audience, what are their pain points, what are they going through, what content could you create that would be a support to them that makes it a no-brainer that they need to hire you. I just had somebody this week say they went and watched the last video I think I posted on my YouTube channel. And they were like, oh my God, like this was exactly what I needed. How can I get on your calendar?
Wow.
It's in the description, kendrascaleMyBusiness.com/booking. And she has a discovery call with me this week. You know, that's the thing. It's like, I thought about what are the pain points of the people I want to work with. The people I want to work with are normally faith-based people. There are people who are obviously creatives. There are people who are educators, not in the sense of like they're teachers, but they're teaching somebody how to do something. Yeah. So what are the pain points of those people? And then I make content based on that. And so being strategic is the thing that will grow your business. You will get frustrated if you decide as a business owner, I am going to go get on YouTube. I'm going to start on YouTube. I'm going to make all these great videos and then no one watches them. You will get, you'll feel defeated. You will be discouraged and you won't keep doing it. So before you jump out there and decide this is what you're going to do, take your time to strategize. Really think about how you can align your content to the pain points of your target and then create and then put things out. Those are probably my top two things that people should really do if they're considering getting on YouTube for business.
Awesome. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And you do your videos perhaps in a batch, is that correct?
I try. I try. I recommend for people to batch because honestly, like filming is a lot of work. Production day is a lot. If you're a woman, you're doing hair, you're doing makeup, you're doing, nails, you're doing all these things. You're setting up lighting. There's so many components. You may as well batch. So normally, whenever I personally film, I try to film 3 or 4 videos in a day, which normally I can get done. I mean, I've been doing also video content for so long and producing my own video content. I can breeze through a video in about 20 minutes, like recording, start to finish. I know what I'm talking about. I've written out my talking points. I've memorized them. So sitting down, I can just like kind of talk and pour out and give. But a lot of my big YouTube clients actually film 1 video at a time.
Wow.
And they normally are only putting out 1 video a week or 1 video every 2 weeks because they're like big produced videos. But they definitely plan content ahead. So like one client in particular I'm thinking about right now, they film once a week. Like we're filming this Wednesday, so I'll sit in that production. And they already have like 12 concepts written out for different videos that they could do between now and December. So for us, it's a matter of like brand alignment, like what's happening with brand partners. What brand partners do we already have sitting at the table? What brand partners do we want to bring in? And that kind of dictates the posting schedule. But they put so much into 1 video that they film every week. So there's 99 ways to skin a cat, and
yes, yeah.
And we do different methods, but they both work.
Incredible. While you were talking there, I just had a thought that, how long should the video be? Because we find some are hour long, some are 15 minutes. In your experience, how long should they be for them to get massive, maybe engagement? In your experience,
3 to 5 minutes. Until you build a huge audience, 3 to 5 minutes is the most you will be able to retain someone. The most, the maximum. And that's also dependent on, are there points in the video where there are drop-offs where people become uninterested?
Yes.
And so this is not exactly the question, but when you're reviewing your edits, when you are looking at the videos that you're editing, you're watching them back over before you post them. The moment you want to look away is the moment a person's going to click off.
Wow.
So if you're watching it yourself and you're kind of like, watching, and then you're like looking off, that person's going to click off. So that's a point we need to go fix the edit. Either, chop it, bring it closer, put something more engaging right there. You want to try to keep a person. If you can keep a person on for 1 full minute, they will watch the rest of the video.
Wow. Well, so which means that the very first part needs to be really engaging to keep them on the point.
As a general rule of thumb, the first 3 seconds are the most vital 3 seconds of the whole video.
So how do you?
A person can decide that they do or don't want to watch.
Wow. So how do you get them engaged? From your experience, you've been doing it for so long. During those 3 seconds, what do you do? What do you say?
So there's a couple of ways you can do this. Most people start off with their opener, and then it's like, hey, you guys, welcome back to my boring. I start all of my videos with something funny, like a blooper from me filming, normally is what I normally use, or like a video of me just like sitting in front of the camera dancing, something that's going to make a person go, oh, what's this? Like, it's different. You want to be different. You want to set yourself apart. So, like I said, putting a blooper in the front, having some really amazing music in the front, something that somebody's just not expecting that's going to make them like, whoa, okay. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not right for every business owner. There are some business owners who are making videos on like how to use this, Canon, Mark III camera. People are looking for just the information in that point. It's like, how do I just use this Canon Mark III camera? Okay, I'm having problems with this camera. I'm literally Googling, your video came up. I'm just trying to get the answer. But for most people, you're looking to be engaging, not just educational. So figure out that way in the very beginning. How do you keep someone's attention? Get their attention at 3 seconds, keep them for a minute. And so that first minute, again, when you're editing, is so crucial, making sure that you're just constantly engaging. The other thing, these are all my secrets. The other thing is, I was like, hey, this is my secret. The other thing is how you actually edit. So like, anyone who does any editing, you already know that there's like a Ken Burns edit, which is where you can like pan in slow or pan out slow or whatever. So every 10 seconds or so, you need to either change the panning on the screen, change the crop on the screen, or add text to the screen. Every 10 seconds, something should be changing because it's bringing in the sensory of that person. So they're engaging because there's always something happening on the screen that's not just you sitting there talking. So that's kind of like another thing that you can do to make sure people have, watch time up to a minute.
Wow, gosh, you've given all your secrets, but I know there will be people here that will say, Kendra, you know your stuff. I don't have time to be doing this. I want to work with you. Where can they find you?
Yeah, you can go to my website, kendrascalemybusiness.com, or you can find me on Instagram at I am Kendra Y. Hill. Also, my name is Kendra Y. Hill on LinkedIn, so you can find me there as well.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Well, as we come towards the end of our time together, any final thoughts or anything I've not asked you about YouTube in general, maybe around how do you close those big clients or anything I've missed out?
Yeah, the thing I was going to touch on was monetization, right? Because everyone wants to know how to make money on YouTube.
Yes.
So obviously you have your general AdSense monetization that you're eligible for after so many watch hours and 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. But it's the real money in YouTube, really the real money in any social media are those brand deals. And so the first thing that you should do is make a list of your dream brands. If you are a person who only uses a specific type of laundry detergent or only drinks a certain type of water or only wears a certain type, those are your dream brands because those are natural integrations. It is a natural integration for you to work with, the company that makes the water that you drink every day. So the first thing is, make that list of dream brands and then use your tools. Use LinkedIn, use some other tools that I'm not going to mention because I've given out so much, but use some other tools to find the contacts for those people. So you're looking for a director of marketing or director of brand partnerships or communications director. You're looking for a person in that realm. Those are the right people to reach out to. Some companies strictly use PR people. So if they have a PR agency that they're working with, that's who you reach out to. And then present yourself in the best way when you reach out to them via email. You, at the very top, be very clear about what you want. Don't come in there with your life story. Don't come in there with your I've been doing YouTube for 8 years and I love pets. And because, no, be very clear. Hi, my name is Kendra Y. Hill. I am a YouTube and business consultant, and I would love to talk with you about partnering on XYZ. Be upfront and then explain why. Then you go into your brief little, I've been using this brand for this amount of time. I've also worked with other brands. Here are some of the brands I've worked with. Here are some of the outcomes from those things. Here are some ideas I have of how we could work together. That's the other thing. Give them ideas how we could work together. Below are the links to my social media. Attached is my press kit. Deuces. And it always works. It always works. Yeah. I'm always able to close deals for clients because we follow a formula. There's a process. There's a way in which you reach out to people. So
Wow.
that's how you close a big deal. I just gave you literally like part of the formula, and like that's it.
Incredible. Well, we appreciate your generosity with your knowledge, and for those who wants to carry on learning with you, they can visit your website. One final, touch there. I know you have got an application process coming up on the 28th of October. Tell us more about that and how those who are interested can apply into your coaching program.
Yeah, well, thank you. So the Millionaire Project, again, I'm taking 5 people next year from January to December and helping them make $1 million in their business. So the application does go live October 28th. It's literally, I just told you what my interview process is. So it's literally that. You fill out the application. We'll give you some other additional things, and you'll sit down and have video interview with me and chit chat and see if you're a good fit. The program itself will literally go through everything from mindset to planning your financials, hiring your team. I'm actually going to help you do these things. It's not just me telling you like, oh, well, this is what you do and this is how you do it. It's literally me telling you and then helping you do that and walking all the way through that year. And so it's really exciting. I know that I'm going to help 5 people make $1 million next year. So if anyone is interested, by all means, please apply. October 28th, they go live. Incredible.
You've done it, and you're going to be showing people how you've done that, which is incredible. What an opportunity there for people to take on that.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited.
Yes. Well, with that said, I want to thank you for spending time with me here today. And if you enjoyed our show here today, just click the link below and go straight to Kendra's website.
Thank you for listening to Yeukai Business Show. We will be back to bring you more episodes with success stories and advice straight from the experts. Want more? Check out www.yeukai.businessshow.com. Get your free trial of our virtual assistant service today. Just visit www.worldoutsourcingsolutions.com. Quote WOS18 or send us an email at support@worldoutsourcingsolutions.com.